I think we got a 3 and out. I think we had the ability to get, or no, Darian made the interception is what happened. And the game really swung from there. And again, a game captain today is Darian Porter, right? I mean, the ultimate team player here for the last 6 years is the guy that makes the play that swings the tide. And most selfless, most incredible human on our football team, and that guy makes the play to swing the tide. Again, we all learn life lessons if we're humble enough to learn from him.
You've talked a lot about camaraderie and the faith you have in him. And walk us through your day with him today after he misses the first and then obviously finishes strong.
Well, I didn't even, I didn't flinch much when we missed it just because it was like, man, the kid didn't get a chance to kick a field goal last week, right? And so I was just glad that it was still a 2-score game. I think it was 13-0 is what it was. And, so I thought from my end of it, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think anything of it. And I just have such faith in him because I think you guys that cover us, we talked about it, is, man, I watched this guy kick a 64-yarder in the last fall camp in a 2-minute drill right at the end of the scrimmage. And I think to me, it's like any other position when you have the ability to do those things, it's powerful. And when you miss, do you have the ability in the kicking world to self-correct? It's like I told you, I hate to tell you guys, I don't know I can't coach kicking, right? Like I don't know, if somebody can, I'd love to see them, but like I can't. But I can at least understand mentality, and I can understand the ability. It's you have to have an elite craft. And that's what Kyle's shown. He showed it midway through the season last year. He put the heat on last year, and then you just watched him grow. So credit to him. I know he's from this state. What a big moment for him and his family. His family went through some tough times this off season, and for that kid to step up in a critical moment, and for his dad and his mom, that's what our sport's about. So I'm really proud of him.
Did he earn his scholarship today?
Well, I'm not even going to use that response, but yes, at some point he will be on scholarship as fast as we can go. Yes.
Matt, how hard is it to find that poise in a game versus before a game, or especially a series that maybe you haven't brought out the best?
I think that's why our sport's crazy, and you cover it as good as anybody. College football's nuts because you're asking 18 to 22-year-olds and we've created chaos in college football on top of everything else, but you're asking them to be mature in critical moments and have the maturity and the poise to work through hard things. That is what football, and again, it's not like any other sport. There's only 12 games. I always say basketball, you can play great on Tuesday or bad on Tuesday, you get to play again on Saturday and nobody cares. Football, you get 12 guaranteed opportunities, you better be your best every Saturday, right? Man, you play baseball, you play all these sports, like, man, our sport, 12 games, that's all you get to be your best. And so it does take the teams that have elite success in our sport, it still takes mental toughness. I don't care if it's Georgia or if it's Ohio State or if it's Iowa State. Like, if you want to reach your full potential, you want to be the best, you better have great mental toughness because you're going to come into games like this that's not always going to go perfect, but can you get yourself back on track? Again, the law of progression. Man, can I get myself right back on progress? And, I thought our kids really grew up to. That's the best I've seen Iowa State in my time here have the ability to respond in a football game in an environment like this. I've never seen it. So hats off to our leadership for sure.
Matt, when Porter had that pick early in the third quarter, your sideline seemed to go just absolutely crazy. Was it something that they were looking for, expecting?
No, I think we thought it was going to be a shot play down the field. So to be honest with you, and I think we were all yelling shot play down the field. But, it wasn't that. It was a throwback, and, for Darian to make the play, again, I know I was saying it if you heard me say it or not. I mean, Darian and what he has meant to our program, he does all the hard things really, really well. It's what makes him really special. I think Darian's going to have a really bright future playing football for a long time because he's got great athleticism. But for him to make that play in that moment, I think it was monumental, and it was totally a credit to him.
Noel really stepped up in critical moments. Can you take us through the play there that set up the field goal?
Yeah, it's one of our kind of, if you would deem end-of-game plays, and honestly, it was a play we didn't practice all week, but it's a play that's in our back pocket of the ability versus that coverage, that if we're going to get it, it's ability for us to push the ball down the field. And, Jalen, what him and Jaden have meant to our team. I mean, Higgins catch 2 in the end zone. I mean, I don't know if it's like a great ball, but he goes and makes the play. Like, you got to win the moments, right? I mean, not only do you have to have poise, but you got to win the moment. And man, for Jalen to make that play, you're right, it's huge. And I thought Coach Mouse had great poise. I mean, got to give him credit. Coach Haycock had great poise today. I thought those guys did a great job calling the game. They just kept plugging away. And again, we're playing a really good football team in a really hard environment. And so for our kids to be able to hang in there and make the plays that they needed to make in critical moments, I thought it was big.
How did you guys have success in the red zone defensively, especially early?
Yeah, you just got to play the next play. Our theme, and you probably heard me say this. I'm sure you'll be all over me at some point, but I still believe this. It's like you got to win one moment at a time. You got to win one play at a time, and you certainly have to win one situation at a time. And if I looked at last week, I didn't think we did a great job situationally. On offense we were able to do some good things, but on defense, I think we kind of left there saying, man, that's not the defense we want to be or we believe we can be. And it was something we talked about a lot internally this week was, man, we got to be better situationally. Like, let's not worry about the scoreboard. Let's just worry and play whatever situation comes our way. Let's play the situation out. And that's, I think you've covered us enough to know, man, we do a lot of that in fall camp. We play a lot of situational football. I try to create as much chaos as I can in practice for the opportunity that this is kind of game. And you got to be ready to get to 2-minute offense, or you got to get ready to go down and play in the goal line. And you got to play. Sudden change today happened on both sides of the ball, and we were able to respond. And so, again, our credit to our coaches and our kids to hang in there and make those plays. But I thought we grew there, again, week 1 to week 2. I thought we made good steps defensively today for sure.
For the most part of
Coach,
that,
of Rocco at halftime.
Yeah, man, just hang in there. I really felt like we were moving the football. I think you look at the video, like, daggone, like even on the 1 yard line, like we got it to 3rd and 2, right? I mean, the first drive of the game, and you can't be at any worse spot to get the ball to start the game, right? At the 1 yard line down there with, everybody screaming at you, which didn't sound like they were saying nice things to anybody, but the reality of it is, like, man, I thought we were moving the ball. We were hurting ourselves on 3rd down in pre-snap operation. Not even the play. Not even like the play. It was the pre-snap operation. So, I just said, man, hang in there. We felt like we got this whole game plan. We got all these good plays, and we haven't even got to call half of them because we're kind of screwing it up. So, it was really just hang in there. And again, what makes Rocco special? Nobody's brought his name up, but like, what makes that guy special? What you saw today is what makes that guy special. To be able to come back, man, you throw an interception in the first half, and to be able to come back and have the poise and the discipline, and some of those throws he made were incredible in the second half. So really proud of Rocco.
For the first 3 quarters, they had good success running the ball, but in the 4th quarter, you guys stopped them. What adjustments did you guys make defensively to slow that down?
Yeah, I just think we had to be a little bit. They were really doing a great job into the boundary with the run game, and we were almost like they were able to get a hat for a hat. We were able to plus and get an extra hat there. We made some good adjustments late in the 3rd quarter. But credit to them, they had a really good scheme. They were able to crease us, and that's a really good tailback, But I thought our ability to adjust, Coach Haycock, our defensive staff, they did a great job adjusting.
What about-
Second quarter, we got the ball 1st and goal to 1, 1st and goal to 3. Comes out with 6 points out of those 2 sequences. Can you take me through those 2 sequences and how big that is to go into halftime down just 2 scores?
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I really felt that was the game. That's why I didn't even notice that, and to be honest with you, that Kyle missed the field goal. I was just glad we were able to put a great 2-minute drive together at the end of the half. I thought it gave us some confidence. But those, when we were able to make those big stands down there, I really felt like, man, the momentum was going to kick back to us because I knew we were going to get the ball in the second half to start the second half. So, again, great credit to our defense, and man, we got the ball in the second half. We started off with a penalty, right? I think on the kickoff, that was crap, and crap on our end, not anybody else's end. And then the ability for then we got to punt it again, and then for Darian to make that play really swung the tide. But yes, you're 100% right. If we don't make those red zone stops, we don't win the football game.
And we'll take one of a lot of young linebackers, obviously, kind of learning on the job with Tyson Caleb and Will. What did you make of their plays that kind of found their groove in this game?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I would just say is, that's hard. Yes, a true freshman to start his first game here at Iowa, right? That's not easy. And Cale is a very mature football player, but how he played, it certainly looked positive. We'll get a great understanding of that after we watch the video. I mean, to watch what, some of these guys are doing that we're asking to step up, and, those guys who covered us, I mean, our 3 starting linebackers are out, right? Like, I mean, Carson Willich is out, obviously Will McLaughlin is out, and then Caleb Bacon's out. I mean, so you had 3 starting linebackers that are out, and the young men that have stepped up, Cooper Ebel, man, he's been exceptional. I thought he played really good last week. I thought he played really good again today. And then obviously what it's looked like the rest of the way, it's been really impressive. But that's football. Like, nobody cares that we got those people out. Like, the reality is the next guy's got to step up and play, and that's football, and that's what makes it special.
I know you believe in your team, but how many times today were you a play for maybe being out of the game? Just because of how they play, how good they are defensively?
Yeah, I think that's why I was so ticked, right? Like, I was so ticked that I felt like I was letting this team down because I felt like, man, we were teetering on the edge of, right on the edge of it. And again, it's our kids stepping up and making the plays that got us out of the rut. And that is still the fun thing about football is you get to play it and the players make the plays. The coaches don't. We just try to not screw it up. But man, the players got to make the plays. And so I felt like we were teetering on the edge the whole time, to be quite honest with you. Yeah.
What do you think your players will take away from this day?
Yeah, I think that we grew forward. And again, I think this is hard. And I'm going to just say this probably respectfully. Our goal is not to win one game. I know I've been here for 9 years, and I probably tick our fan base. I'm not trying to win one game. I'm trying to win them all. And the reality of it is, we haven't won a championship here. We're trying to create a championship mentality, and we've been damn close here. But we got a lot of work to do if we want to continue to be that team. Great teams get better every week, and we made great growth between week 1 and week 2. But man, we got a lot more growth to go. And so I'm proud of our kids. I hope they take it as, a great learning environment. What do we do well? It's only the second game of the season. What didn't we do well? And then how do we get our butts back to Ames and come back tomorrow to work and get ourselves better? That's what great teams do. They don't flinch at a result. They understand the process, and hopefully this team's got the ability to do that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, on Tuesday, I asked you kind of what you wanted to get out of this other than the outcome. And you said show resilience in the face of adversity and then show growth in the scheme. And do you feel like you made progress in those areas, especially number 1? Yeah,
I mean, and it's toughness, right? This sport is a tough sport, and it's mental, physical toughness. And I still question that even to our team through fall camp. Are we tough enough? Are we physically and mentally tough enough to be the team we want to be? I would still say we got to show that today answered some questions, but it sure in the heck didn't answer them all. We still got to be better against the run. Man, we got to be damn better on pre-snap, and not have so many penalties and all these things. But man, you got to be tough enough to stay in it, and you got to be tough enough to just whatever happened on the last play, forget about it, flush it, play the next play. And that is what this group proved, that they can do that. And again, we're going to be in more of these environments. We're going to be in more big games, and the next one's going to come because the next one will be the biggest. And yet, man, can you grow? Are you tough enough to keep getting better? Do you stay curious? Do you stay excited to learn and want to continue to get better? Or, man, is this some great achievement? It's a win, and it's the second game of the season. Keep moving forward. It's a rivalry game. That's exciting. It's awesome, all those things. But it's the next game. And so I think the mentality piece, you're right. It was huge to watch this team do that for 60 minutes, and their resolve was awesome to watch.